Hi, and welcome to episode 8 of Tales of Yarnia. This is my podcast all about knitting, crocheting, and all the crafty things. My name is Hannah. I'm coming to you from Cheltenham, which is where I live in the UK with my other half Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah. I'm known as yarniadesigns on Instagram and Ravelry. Hopefully I'll put that on the screen somewhere. And I really hope you enjoy the podcast. I want to say a big welcome back to all my returning viewers. I'm really pleased that you're enjoying the podcast and want to come back and watch more episodes of me just rambling on about what I'm making. And also big welcome to any new viewers. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out my podcast, and I hope you enjoy it. So, on to a couple of announcements. I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention last time, I'm currently running a knit-along called the Yarnia Cow, and that is a knit-along running until the 31st of March, where you can enter on my Ravelry page, my Ravelry group, Yarnia Designs, and you can enter anything you've knit in one of my patterns. So that's any of my sock designs. I've got one free one, which is the Holy Socks. I might put a picture up here if I remember, because I didn't bring that with me downstairs to show you. Yeah, there's the Holy Socks, and then I've got two other sock designs, and I've recently also released my first shawl design, which I'm going to show you again in a second. So yeah, that's running until the 31st of March. You've still got time to enter. It's still a couple of weeks away, so I think that's probably enough time to knit a pair of socks. Sorry, Jonah's just trying to push me out of the way. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing everyone's finished objects in the finished objects thread, and in the chatter thread as well. So thank you for everyone who's getting involved with that. It's really exciting. So yeah, we have also got a couple of prizes. If you check out, I can't remember which podcast episode it was, but I did show them off. We've got a really beautiful skein of yarn from Green Lambkin, and then we've also got some gorgeous mini skeins from Moonflower Yarns. So those are both up for grabs in the cow. So moving on to the other announcement, just have a quick cup of tea, hang on. Yeah, I'm drinking tea this morning. In my yellow Labrador mug. And I don't know if you can see, yeah, it says yellow Labrador on the inside. So yeah, this was a present from my mum last year, I think. I think that was the first year we'd had Jonah. It had been a year since we had Jonah, so I love it. It's the perfect size for tea as well. I like to have a really big mug for coffee. If you see my previous podcast, you'll have seen. But I think this is just the right size for tea. I think it's an Emma Bridgewater mug, if you're interested. So, yes, did want to say the Galactic Rainbow Shawl is now live on Ravelry, and is still 20% off until the end of Wednesday, the 14th of March. So there's no code needed, it's automatically applied on checkout. So I'll just show this to you if I can. So it's, I did show it last time on the podcast quite a bit, so I'm just quickly saying it's got brioche sections, garter sections, a little bit of fading, and you start off one tiny end and you end up on this large brioche section here. So yeah, and this is knit out of Leon Alexander yarns. They have now got kits up in their shop, which I'll include a link to in the notes down below. But yes, this is Galactic Rainbow. So yeah, hope you all like it. Right, so, oh yes, I did also want to say thank you to everybody who's purchased the pattern and has given me really nice comments and feedback about it. I was really surprised that so many people are really excited about it, because I thought there wouldn't be that many because it's a brioche pattern and not everyone knits brioche. But I think there's quite a few people who are interested in trying it, so yay, thank you everyone. I was really pleasantly surprised with the response I got for the release, so yeah, it's really awesome, thank you. So yeah, right, stop jabbering on about that stuff now. That's it for announcements, so we'll move on to the actual nitty gritty of the podcast. So, as you can probably tell, I'm wearing a new FO. I did post this on my Instagram, so if you follow me on there, you will have already seen this. But this is the Cobalt Tone hat which is patterned by Leslie Ann Robinson. It's in Pom Pom Quarterly, issue 23, I think it is. Let me just check my notes. Yeah, it's issue 23, which was the most recent winter edition. And it's a completely brioche hat, knit in DK weight yarn. The pattern calls for Madeleine Tosh DK in 2 different colours, and I've used that. In the lighter colour is Gemini Twins, and the darker colour underneath is Spectrum, which is, I don't know if you can see that well. I'm just gonna get a bit close so you can see the hat. So hopefully you can see what it looks like. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I knit it in the small size, just because I think I did the measurements, sort of like the circumference of your head, and that one seemed to be the best fit for me. And I haven't done a pom-pom yet because I couldn't decide whether to do a pom-pom out of the leftover yarn or whether to get a furry one, but I think it would look nicer in the leftover yarn because I have loads left over. I only used, so I had to have 2 100-gram skeins of the Madeleine Tosh to make the hat, but I only used about 1/3 of the overall yarn that I have, so I've got about 2/3 left over, so I've definitely got enough for a pom-pom, and I'm hoping maybe I could make some matching mittens or something out of the leftovers, because I think that should be enough. Not really sure. I'm going to have a look at mitten patterns on Ravelry at some point, but we're sort of coming out of the mitten season now, so I might leave that to make later on in the year, after maybe in the summer, ready for autumn, and that might be cool. But yeah, I really love the colours. The fit is really good as well. I think I was wondering if it would sort of grip my head as much as ribbing would at the bottom, because you don't do any ribbing to start off with, but the brioche sort of squeezes it back in, so it stays on my head really well, and it's really warm and cozy, and it's so squishy because it's brioche. It is just so squishy and soft. And yeah, it was really fun to knit. It did take up a lot of brain space because quite a few of the rows you have to read sort of a lot of different more complicated brioche terminology, but by the end of it I was remembering what each one meant, so I feel like it was a really good learning experience for brioche as well, for some slightly more complicated stuff. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it, really excited. I am still wearing it outside at the moment because it has been quite cold since we had the snow. I hadn't finished it in time for the snow, so I did have it a bit late, but it's still been quite cold and icy recently, so yeah, I have got a bit of wear out of it. It is really crazy colours, but I feel like I can get away with it in a hat. So yeah, really pleased with that. Yeah, if anyone's got any good ideas of like mitten patterns using 2 colours of DK with about, I think I've got about 140 grams left over in total. But yeah, if anyone's got any good ideas of things I can make with that, let me know. Be really interested to see. Right, so that was my first defo. I completely forgot to say there is one other handmade item that I'm wearing, and that's my Tegna top. So I'll just quickly show you that. I have shown it before on the podcast, but here, this is the Tegna by Caitlin Hunter. It's a sort of t-shirt design, so the sleeves come down to about here. And I knit this out of Tuscan Knits in the Pigwidgeon colourway, using her fuzz base, which does have mohair in it. So I'm not sure if you can see, it's quite fuzzy. Really soft, really lovely. It's got quite a nice drape to it as well. So yeah, this is one of my favourite tops. I wear it all the time as much as possible. So yeah, because it just goes with everything. It's really comfortable and fits so well. So yeah, I sort of like to layer it up a bit in the winter, and then in the summer you can just wear it on its own. So yeah, really enjoying that one. So my other FO that I've got, I did also post about on Instagram. I'll just grab that. Just get some tea. Sorry, I don't like my tea to go cold. There's nothing I hate more than cold tea. So, right, so my other FO is a little pair of baby socks. So I think last time I showed them, I was only on the first sock, and I think I'd got down to about here. So this is the baby socks pattern, which I think is a free pattern on Ravelry by Kate Atherley. So it's like a ribbed sock up until about here, sorry, a ribbed cuff, and I'm hoping that will help the socks stay on the baby, who these are for. It's a present for a friend who's having a baby soon. But I think it's really cute folded over. That's how it was shown in the picture of the pattern. I think that looks really sweet. So yeah, I've done the newborn size, and this used hardly any yarn. It only used, I think it was 12 grams of fingering weight yarn. So let's see if you can see. So yes, I used a mini skein from Nora George, in the, what colourway is it? It's the We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together colourway, which I think is a Taylor Swift reference. So I think it's knit up really well. I just thought this colourway was really sweet, and I was trying to find gender neutral colours, because my friend doesn't know if she's having a boy or a girl. So I thought this would hopefully go quite well for a boy or a girl. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those. They were so quick to knit up and really fun as well, although they were quite fiddly, and because I did them on magic loop, you have to switch around with the cable all the time, but I don't have any DPNs and I'm not sure how I'd get on with DPNs, so magic loop is my preferred method for socks and anything small. So yeah, really pleased with those. I hope she'll like them, and yeah, I really like this yarn as well, the way it knit up. It's made it like little stripes. particularly on this one. Yeah, I think a little bit on this one as well. Yeah, they're like little stripy baby socks. They're really cute. So, yay! They are actually tiny. I don't think you can see like how small they are. I mean, I hope they're the right size for baby's feet. Because I don't really know what size baby's feet are. So, yeah. Really enjoyed that. And I've got to make some more soon for another friend who's having a baby. So I'm probably going to use the same pattern because I really enjoyed it. But I haven't decided on a colourway yet. So but I'm going to need to do that probably within the next month, because I don't think it's too much longer until they're due. So yeah, that's it for FOs. I've got 2 whips to show you. I think I'm still working on this sort of project that I can't show you, so yeah, not got that much done. I sort of have, and sort of haven't. I don't know. I shouldn't beat myself up too much about progress I've done, because I have finished a hat, and this took a long time. This did take a long time, and a lot of brain power. I only have so much brain power to go around my projects. Okay, so my first whip I want to show you, you've seen a couple of times before. It's my Zweig sweater. And let's have a look how far I got. I've not picked this up for a couple of days now, and it's sort of my TV knitting. So maybe my progress means I haven't watched that much TV. Alright, so where is the front? I think you've got the front, there we go. So this is the Zweig sweater by Caitlin Hunter. So I think this progress keeper here shows where I was at the last time I showed it to you. So again, I've done a couple of inches. Yeah, I've done about 2 inches on the body. So it is slow progress on this for me, but it's steady. I'm being consistent. I'm going back to it and doing a couple more inches each time I show it to you, so at least it's not stopped and I've just not picked it up for weeks. I do just go back to it and knit a little bit on it at a time, but I've had other projects that have been taking up my attention. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. It is a really relaxing knit now that I'm onto the body. This lace part was really fun, and the colour work was really fun too, because this is my first colour work sweater. I'd never tried colour work before, so a lot of exciting things that I learned throughout this the process of making this so far. So the colours I've used, the dark blue is a one-of-a-kind colourway by Travel Knitter, and it's really pretty. It's like a deep dark navy blue, and then the contrast colour, this light one with the lace, is Fondant Fibre in the Jasmine Scented Evening colourway, and I've got her MCN base for that one. But I'm not sure if she's dyeing yarn anymore. I've not seen any updates recently on her Instagram, and I can't find her online shop anymore, but I do really love this colourway. It's beautiful. You can see all the speckles there. So yeah, I really am looking forward to getting this finished so that I can wear it. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying knitting on the body because it's really relaxing. It's sort of mostly stockinette, but with these little cable crosses. I'm not sure you can see. Hang on. Oh, that's a bit better. You can sort of see the texture now. So yeah, it keeps it a little bit interesting, but it does mean I need to note down what row I'm on of the pattern, repeat, so that I don't end up with the wrong sized gap between the cables. So, but yeah, I really love the finished texture. I think it adds a lot of interest to that, and I think the travel knitter yarn works really well in defining those little cable crosses as well. So yeah, really enjoying that. And I absolutely love this Progress Keeper. This is the one I showed off last time on the podcast, by Moonflower Yarns, and it actually glows in the dark. You have to charge it up with a light, like on your phone or something, but then it will glow, and it's really pretty. But it's got these little crystals that are really pretty anyway during the day. So yeah. So yeah, that's that one. Still plugging away on it, but hopefully one day it will get finished. So yeah. Right, and then I've got one more whip, and this one is completely new. I haven't shown it on Instagram yet, and it's actually a design of mine that I've come up with. So it's Living In, my Eldon Woodcraft bag with all the trees, which I love. And I think it's really fitting for the project that's inside and the colours that are used. So yeah, just look at the colours. They are completely woodland themed. It's fantastic. So that makes me really happy that my project bag matches my project. So I am knitting and designing a pair of socks. So let me just show you what I've done so far. It's a fairly new whip. I have ripped back and started it again a couple of times, just because when I'm designing, I want it to, I have to sort of tweak it as I go. The design you have in mind doesn't always work exactly as planned in practice. So I rip back and tweak a bit and then re-knit it. And I think I've done that about 3 times with this one. One time just because I decided I wanted a contrast toe. So let's just have a look. So it's going to be a mostly stockinette, but with this little lace detailing up the side of the sock, which I'm really enjoying. The yarn I'm using, if I show you that, is a sock blank, which might be a bit unconventional for a design, because when you knit a sock blank, if I show you on the reverse, it does look all uneven until you then soak the product. So it doesn't define the stitches very well at the moment, because as you're knitting it, that's the yarn that you're actually knitting with. So instead of it being a nice straight yarn, it's all kinked, which obviously when you're knitting it up makes the actual fabric very kinked. So this yarn here is not from a sock blank, and that looks, I think, pretty good. And then obviously you go into this, but because I have knit with a sock blank before, I know when I soak it, it will just completely relax and go back to normal looking yarn, and then it will be completely even. So if you stretch it out, you can sort of see that it will look normal, but at the moment it looks all uneven. So but yeah, I'm loving the colours. I don't think I even said who the sock blank is by. So this sock blank, I'm going to unroll it so you can see how beautiful it is. It's a sock blank by Sweet Sparrow Yarns. I think she's based in, is it New York or New Jersey? I'm not sure. But yeah, she's over in the US. She's got an Etsy shop, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an Etsy shop. And she's also on Instagram as Sweet Sparrow Yarns. and I absolutely love. What are the colours doing? Don't do that. Don't do that with the light. It's a really grey day. Yeah, but yeah, that is pretty true to the colours. So you've got these beautiful speckles of sort of browns and blues and pinks, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it, and it's knitting up just how I wanted. So with the speckles sort of being distributed in little clusters, so really, really pretty. So I really love that. I absolutely adore her colourways. They're just, she does a lot of muted tones, and sort of, they seem to be sort of nature inspired, and sometimes quite earthy tones, muted, and just really delicate, pretty colourways, which I really love. Because there's one side of me that loves the bold, crazy neon of this hat, and then another part of me that loves just really elegant, beautiful, muted tones. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm using for the main colour. And then the contrast colour, I'm actually, oh wait, I didn't show you her tag, sorry, with this Sweet Sparrow yarns. Oh yeah, the colourway for that sock blanket is called Fairy Ring. So this is her tag. I'll just show you that. There you go. So it's on her nuthatch base, and the I think it's a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. So hopefully that's all there for you there. And yeah, so the contrast colour I'm using is Eden Cottage yarns, and it's a merino cashmere nylon blend. It's looking a lot more red than it should do. It's more of a chestnut, sort of more of a muted brown. I'm not showing up there. See if I can get the light. No, it doesn't want to look like a normal colour. It's looking more red on camera than it is. But hopefully. Ooh. It's just started chucking it down with rain outside. But yeah, sorry, complete tangent. Yeah, it's called the Red Kite colourway, and it is so soft. And when I've knit it up, it goes all sort of fuzzy. It's sort of like got a little halo to it. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's so soft. So yeah, the tag for that one is here. So it's Eden Cottage yarns. This is the first time I'm using both of these dyers actually, so it's really fun. I've just thought that the colours went together so well. So yeah, and here's the other side. It's I think the MCN base is the Hayton 4-ply. So yeah, there we go. And I love this so much. I really feel like I need to get a sweaters quantity in this base, maybe even this same colour. Because it's a bit crazy also that this started off as a full 100 gram skein, and I'm breaking into it just for the heels, the cuffs and toes for this sock. But I thought actually, because I'll probably be using less than 20 grams of the yarn, I'll probably still have a lot left over to use for what I actually intended to use it for. So maybe if that's going to be a garment, maybe I'll just buy 2 more skeins and then I would have enough. We'll have to see. But yeah, I really love this. So I definitely need to get some more Eden Cottage yarns because it's so soft and squashy and just really smooth as well. Really beautiful to work with. Yeah. So yeah, the other thing I did want to say is Julie from Sweet Sparrow Yarns, she actually does her own podcast as well, I think it's called Sweet Sparrow Knits on YouTube. And yeah, she has a really, really lovely podcast. It's really relaxing to watch. I just really enjoy the things that she makes. They're all such beautiful knits with, I think she uses quite a lot of her own yarn as well. So it's all in beautiful muted tones, and it's just so relaxing to listen to her voice as well. She has a really, really, really lovely podcast. So yeah, you should definitely go check hers out as well. Really enjoy watching that. And obviously I've got my gingerbread man progress keeper on here, which is from Jiggles and Beans. Sorry. He is so cute. I just thought the colours on him went really well with this project, so I just popped him on there. So, right, yeah, I don't think I've got much more to share with you. I did just want to mention a couple of things I'm enjoying recently. One is an audiobook, which I think everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of knitters I follow on Instagram and in the knitting community have been talking about a book called The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin. And I've started listening to the audiobook version. I'm only a couple of chapters in at the moment, but I'm really enjoying it. I like to listen to audiobooks more than reading physical books nowadays, because then I can knit at the same time. So, I mean, occasionally I like to read a physical book, but I wanted to be able to listen to this whilst I knit. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I won't say what the story's about too much, but I will say it's about, I think it's a group of 4 children who, they go to this lady who can, I think she's some sort of psychic lady, and she tells them each what date they are going to die. And I think the story then follows on from that point in time. And I'm not too much further than that. So but yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's really different. I've been looking for, I like sort of the books where it's loosely based on reality, but then there's some weird and wonderful things that happen. So yeah, I've been listening to that. Yeah, the other book that I wanted to mention was, I've been listening to, was recommended by Tommy of Squirrel Pie Productions. And that's sort of a fantasy sort of novel. And it's called Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. And I've never read any of his books before. So I thought I'd give this one a go and listen. I listen on Audible, so yeah, another audiobook for this one so that I can knit while I'm listening to it. But it's really, really interesting. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think it's sort of set. I don't want to give too much away because I can't remember how much it says on the cover. But there's sort of like, it's based on, there's an alternative world below London. I don't really want to say much more than that, just in case people don't want it to be ruined or anything like that. But those 2 books I'm really enjoying, and I've just been really enjoying listening to things while I'm knitting. I've been listening to a couple of podcasts as well, non-knitting related. One is called Criminal. I'm quite into the true crime. That's the word. I'm quite into the true crime stuff, and Jimmy's really interested in that as well. So we have been listening to that together sometimes. So yeah, that's sort of, each episode covers a different sort of story, where they sort of research into a particular crime that happened or something related to law enforcement. And it's really interesting because they actually interview people involved. They don't just sort of commentate about what they perceive to have happened. They actually speak to the people involved in the situations. So it's really, really interesting. I think I've gone on a bit too much about what I've been listening to and not reading. Yeah, just what I've been listening to. So I'll probably end it there. I don't know when I'm going to be podcasting again next, because I tend to podcast on my days off that I get I get 4 days off every sort of 10 days. Yeah, I work 6 days and then I get 4 days off, if that makes sense. So I've sort of been podcasting every sort of 10 days. But my next set of days off, it's actually my birthday and my family are coming to visit. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get a chance to podcast then. So it might be a couple of weeks until I get a chance to sit down and talk to you all again. But on the plus side, that means I'll probably have more knitty stuff to talk about, because hopefully in that time I will have actually knit more things, made more progress, especially on the Zweig. That would be good if I could finish it by next time. But I'm not going to set myself that challenge. I don't like to put pressure on myself when it comes to knitting too much, other than with like designs where I have deadlines. But I try to keep the deadlines very easy to keep to. Like really, I give myself much more time than I need, than I know I need to do that. So there's not as much pressure. So yeah. Anyway, so I hope you all have a really lovely couple of weeks. I hope it starts to warm up with spring for all of you in the Northern Hemisphere. I don't know if we have anyone in the Southern Hemisphere that watches this, but that would be really interesting to know. So I hope you all really enjoyed the podcast. I really enjoyed chatting, and I'm going to stop talking now. Okay, bye.